everyone! Today we will be learning about simplifying algebraic expressions. So in our last lesson we were looking at combining like terms and identifying terms. Our last lesson is definitely going to be used today as we take the like terms and combine in order to simplify our algebraic expressions. So let's look at our first example here. Our first example is going to have us using the distributive property or the factoring part of the distributive property from before. So in example A, it says 6n minus 10n. And when we look at this problem, we can see that both of these are n's, and we can rewrite this problem to be 6n plus a negative 10n. We know that both of these here have an n, so what we're going to do in order to simplify this is we're going to take this n, and we are going to use the distributive property and pull the n out and just worry about looking at those numbers. So now this says 6 plus negative 10 times n, because we know with the distributive property that whatever is in here is going to be multiplied by n. So we're just going to solve by looking at this number and and solve for an answer. So if I have 6, but I add on 10 negative, I'm looking at a negative 4 times n. So when I simplify this down, I get negative 4n. Another way that you can look at this problem is to think about it as 6n minus 10n and just solve by subtracting the n's. So if I have 6 n's and I remove 10 n's, I then have negative 4 n's left over. This works because they're both the same type of n. There's no exponents or anything like that. So problem number 1, simplified, has been reduced by just combining the things that are the same. Again, you can use the distributive property, just get rid of the n altogether and solve with the numbers, whatever makes most sense to you. Okay, let's do another example. This example has us using rational numbers. So we have negative 8.5 w plus we have 5.2 w plus we have just 1 w. So again, we can pull out the w and start by just combining the things that are the same. So if I look at this has an invisible 1 in front of it. So if I just want to focus on the numbers, I can just pull this w out and then just worry about the numbers on the inside. So I have negative 8.5 plus 5.2 plus 1, all ready to solve. Okay, so I can add the things that are the same and then simplify. So if I were to do negative 8.5 plus 5.2 plus 1, that gives me 6.2. And so now I can just keep simplifying down until I get, so negative 8.5 plus 6.2, that gives me, this is really like a subtraction problem because I had negatives and I'm adding on positives, so I'm going to end with a negative but a smaller negative if we want to think of it that way. I get So that's 0.3, so 0.5, and so that's 3, and then 2, negative 2.3. I can check my work by doing 6.2 plus 2.3. I get 5, 6, 7, 8, 8.5, and it's negative. Okay. Again, this is just by using the distributive property. We've just pulled out the W, so we need to go ahead and put that W back on. So my answer is 2.3 W. All right. Now let's go ahead and look at another example. Let's look at this one. Example, oh, that is a C. Example C. Sorry, that's a C. Pretend that's a C. Okay, in example C, we have 3y minus 2 minus 4y plus 6. Okay, when we look at this, we're going to pull out our terms that are the same and then combine and simplify down as far as we can go. So I have 3y and a negative 4y. So when I rewrite this, I have 3y plus negative 4y. And then I also have negative 2 and 6. So plus a negative 2 plus 6. Now I'm going to simplify down even further. So I have 3 plus I'm adding negative 4, which means I have negative 1y. And I had negative 2 and I add 6, so I get plus 4. So my final answer is negative 1y plus 4. Okay, in our next example, we're going to do one that has a fraction in it, so that way we can see how to combine those fractions. Again, rational numbers, combining things that are the same. All right, example D. Example D has 3/4 y plus 12 minus a half of y minus 6. Okay, so this is a really big problem. When you look at this, it might look kind of overwhelming. So first, let's start just by looking at the like terms. So this has a y, and this one has a y. So again, we're just going to rewrite this as 3/4 y plus negative 1/2 y. So I'm going to end up combining 3/4 plus a negative 1/2. And then I'm also going to look at this 12. So plus 12 and plus negative 6. So I can look at both of these, and we're going to have to subtract these numbers, but first I need a common denominator. So in order to solve my fractions here, I need to have a common denominator, just like we did before. So I know that 1/2 can become 3/4. So I'm just going to come up here and I'm going to do 3/4 with the y plus negative 1/2 y. The y is kind of confusing here, so I'm going to pull my y out, and I'm just going to focus on these. So 3/4 plus a negative 1/2. I know that 1/2 can become fourths just by multiplying by 2. So I'm going to multiply by 2 over 2. And that gives me 4 and negative 2. So now I'm ready to do 3/4 plus negative 2/4. And again, I'm only worrying about the top numbers, dragging over that fourth. So now I have 3 plus a negative 2, or 3 minus 2, and that gives me 1/4 y. So my answer here is 1/4 y plus, I have 12 plus I add negative 6, or $12, and I spend 6. So that means I have 6 left over. So 1/4 y plus 6. We're not going to combine this y and this constant together because they're not the same. This one doesn't have a y. So right here we are done. We're going to stop right there. Okay, we're going to do another example. And this example will be your last one. I just want to make sure that we have one more example that has a fraction with it. Maybe. Oh, they didn't give us any more fraction problems. That's okay. We'll make one up. All right, so in our next problem, example E, A, B, C, D, E. Example E. Oh, this is probably a good one for us to do. Okay, we have, let's go like this, negative 1/3 y. I don't know why they're all y's today. Negative 1/3 y minus 1/6 y plus 4z plus 9z. All right, so we're going to be worrying right here first about the negative 1/3 and the negative 1/6. Again, we want to add those together to combine like terms. So I can rewrite this problem as negative 1/3 y plus negative 1/6y. The distributive property says that I can just throw this y on the end, and then in the inside of my parentheses, I only have to worry about the negative 1/3 plus the negative 1/6. So let's do that. Let's just worry about these fractions here, and we'll go from there. Okay, we're adding fractions, which means that when we add fractions, we are needing to have common denominators. So let's make some common denominators here. I can turn this to 6 by doing 2/2. So that gives me negative 2/6 plus this negative 1/6. Negative 1/6. All right. Now we're just going to worry about our top numbers. I have negative 2, and I'm adding negative 1 for a total of negative 3/6y. Or I can simplify this down and make it negative 1/2 y. So this is my y value. Now I need to go back and I need to worry about the rest of this. I have 4z and 9z. So 4 plus 9z. So 4 and 9 is 13. So that means I have 13 z's. So my final answer is negative 1/2 y plus 13z. I'm going to stop right there because I cannot combine this z and this y. So we'll go ahead and stop. All right, it is your turn now for a try it. And we will give you 2 different types of try-its, one with a fraction and one without. Okay, so try it number 1. Let's do this one. Try it number 1. We have 14 minus 3z plus 8 plus z. And then try it number 2. Try it number 2 is 3/8. 3/8 b. Ooh, we haven't done a b yet. Minus 3/4 b. All right, go ahead and hit pause right now so you don't hear me solving. And then when you are ready, come on back and hit play, and we'll check your level of understanding. All right, number 1, we're going to go ahead and combine the things that are the same. So I'm going to start with my z's. Here's a z and here's a z. So this is negative 3z plus z. I know that this is an invisible 1 in front. So when I have negative 3 plus 1, I have negative 2 z's. And last part of this, I have 14. So plus 14. And I have 8 plus 8 and 14 plus 8. 14 plus 8 gives me 22. And so I have a total of, I want to double check my work here, of 22. So negative 2z plus 22. And we're going to stop it right there. All right, these two both have a b. And there's no other numbers here that we need to worry about. So I'm just going to take this 3/8 and I'm going to subtract it from, or add a negative 3/4 to the b. Okay, now we just have to worry about these fractions here. So let's make them have common denominators. So we have 3/8 and we have negative 3/4. I know that 4 can become an 8 when I multiply by 2. So this gives me negative 6/8. So I have 3/8 plus negative 6/8. So 3 plus negative 6 gives me negative 3/8, and I have the b. So my final answer is negative 3/8 times b. Negative 3/8 times b. All right, how did you do on your triads? How did you do on both of these? And go ahead and answer your essential question. How do we simplify algebraic expressions? So how do we simplify algebraic expressions? Put your level of understanding out to the side. And then when you are all finished, you may come on back to the Google Meet and ask for help if you need it, or you can go on and do your practice work. As always, I appreciate all of your hard work and effort, and make it a great day.